There are tons of artists that I really dig, and for the most part, I can group them all together in different categories, but of course, then on the other side of it all, you have Johnny Cash. The man honestly can fit into every single style, genre, every mood. He's just the man. Whether you're traveling, crying, fighting, drinking, relaxing, wooing someone, sitting in a prison, sitting in an open field, whatever, there's simply no mood or situation that Johnny Cash doesn't have a song for. And there's no situation where that song doesn't fit perfectly. It's just the way that he can break things down to its simplest form and reach across any sort of cultural or social boundaries and really speak to anyone and everyone. There's just that honesty in his voice and those words you cannot ignore. And there's nothing ever that sounded artificial or forced anywhere in his music. I mean, think about it. On the same record, he goes from the world's baddest badass with Folsom Prison Blues to the beautiful heartache of I Still Miss Someone to the hot, roaring Jackson to the folky John Henry. And in each case, every one of those situations is flawless. When he was in his prime, he was ruthless in his quest to be uncompromising and making the songs he wanted, how he wanted, and when he wanted. But when you look at his later years, the true brilliance of the man and his passion for song become impossible to ignore. Whether he was covering Nine Inch Nails or Soundgarden or working along Tom Petty, Joe Strummer, or a host of other huge names, he was obviously able to understand the shifts in musical culture, and yet his own raw sound never lost its relevance. It's that gruff growl, that posturing you can hear in his voice that demands your attention. And it's also the way he's able to work that grin and that wink into almost every song, even in the most tragic of lyrics. It's the way he never needed anything more than his voice and a guitar for his songs to reach their fullest musical potential. And it's in these almost minimalistic orchestrations that you can experience some of the most powerful and moving moments in all of music history. I mean, come on, even people who say they don't like that style or country music in general, they still like Johnny Cash. Heavy metal bands, rappers, jazz musicians, pop stars, electronic performers, whoever, it's almost impossible to find a musician that doesn't cite Johnny Cash at some point, let alone anybody on the planet who has a bad word to say about the man's music. Honestly, I think what it comes down to is that even when he had his huge fame and his huge fortune, Johnny Cash was always down to earth. He was always human. He was always accessible to everyone. He never stopped making music that everyone could relate to. Songs that could move you, songs that could save you, and honestly, that's why I love Johnny Cash.